I wanted to do a quick video as it's 10:02 at night and wanted to kind of just give some reflections about what my weekend's been like. I spent last week vlogging. I wanted to do my first vlog on YouTube because I decided recently to start my YouTube channel. And I just wanted to talk from my perspective. And so what I'm coming from here is the Gen X millennial perspective, right, of doing this content, because you Gen Zers know what you're doing. I'm very tech savvy. I actually worked in tech. I have for the last 7 years, but there are some things that your girl did not know. There are some things that I have had to learn, that I've been on YouTube watching myself just to learn about. And I wanted to share. I wanted to give my real live feedback because I know there have to be other people out there that are thinking about doing this. And I'm actually pretty savvy with Instagram Reels. I started doing them a couple of years ago. And I remember my first reel was just, piecing together a couple of pictures and playing some music in the background. I remember I was in Puerto Vallarta and I was like, oh, I did my first reel, but it was complete garbage. And then I started just learning how to set a tone and set a mood and, really make it more cinematic. And so I thought to myself, like, well, if I can do reels, I can definitely make a YouTube video. Honey, I have a new appreciation for vloggers because I watch YouTube a lot. And so I've learned a lot of things about travel. I mean, when I went to Bali, I learned all about the places to go, things to see, all of that just by watching vloggers, travel vloggers. But they make it look so easy. And I'm not here to complain, but I want to keep my channel 100 at all times. And so I want to give you just my real thoughts as far as like what I've been experiencing this week with putting out my first video. And just really trying to stick with my brand, which is just being 100% Kelly. Kelly all the way, all day, every day. So the first thing that I wanted to mention is just that it took longer than I thought to edit. I had to kind of do some research on how to edit. Some people will say to use iMovie. Some people use CapCut. I actually started trying to do it. Did I start trying to do it through iMovie? I think I tried to start doing another vlog through iMovie at one point, and that thing is still in the development phase. I gave up. I think it's supposed to be pretty easy to use. I think it was just a Kelly issue, but I did go ahead and switch over to CapCut to try to use that because I'm going to try to start using CapCut more actually for my Instagram Reels. So I decided to try to use CapCut to complete my vlog as well. And what I found is that it's actually intuitive. It's pretty easy to use. There's a lot of different settings and things that you can do, options, from sound to like how you fade things in and out and all of that. And so I just am going to have to watch a few videos, I think, to get familiar with all the functionality in CapCut. But I did like it, and I like the way that it put things together. It's just, when I took all the clips together and I put them on the project, it was just trying to make sure that everything was in the right order. And then I also had some issues with trying to figure out how to reorder things. I know for those of you that do Reels on Instagram, you could hit that reorder button and move things around really quick. I think it's just because I haven't used CapCut before. So I'm going to stick with it. That's what this is. It's about sticking with it and not giving up. So I'm going to see it through. But I do, just looking at the finished product, kind of wonder what my vlogs are going to look like a year from now, even 6 months from now, because it really does take practice. So that's my first thought for anybody that's out there thinking about doing this. It took longer than I expected. I want to say maybe in total 3 hours is probably what I've been working on. And some people have said it takes 8 hours. I only did an 11-minute video. So for those of you that are doing 40 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour, yeah, it's definitely going to take you longer than that. So my suggestion would be just to make time and try to like focus during different points of time so that you can get it done. And yeah, that's the first reality check, is just that editing took a really long time. Another thing that I found when I was just remembering to shoot. I mean, this is something that's new for me. So I think as soon as I get into the habit, it'll become easier. And I've had points in my life where I've taken my phone out a lot to take pictures of things. If I was writing reviews or even doing, stories for Instagram or something like that. So I think just for like the vlog purpose, trying to remember to take out my camera to shoot little things of me walking my dog, or, you know, I did a little segment where I was making lunch with something, which may not be that interesting, but it does just show who I am, just kind of something that was on my mind at the time. So I think getting used to bringing your camera out is something that I needed to remember. And also remembering to shoot content. Like if you're talking about something, remembering to take a shot of what that looked like, I totally forgot. The other thing is how to shoot, because I was watching something today that talks about how using the back of your camera is more quality, and I do agree. But as you can see, I mean, my shirt's probably backwards, and so I'm using the front camera right now until I can get that figured out. And I think what a lot of it is that I'm just going to have to set aside time to learn some of these extra things. It's not like I'm going to be able to learn it all on the fly at the same time on the same day, and that's okay. But it was just when you really are putting yourself out there, it's like, okay, there's all these things, and it can become really overwhelming. So I can see how people get frustrated and give up, but I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. I have things to say and I have things to share. The thing I'm going to talk about is just shooting in public. I feel like I've shot stories and stuff in public. It doesn't really bother me too much, but I was walking yesterday with my tripod, or it wasn't my tripod. My tripod turns into like a selfie stick. And so I was carrying it around with me as I was walking my dog. And I was trying to talk and do a couple of outtakes, and I kept messing up. And I was walking, these people were kind of behind me and they were watching what I was doing. And it was so annoying. Like, they have the right to walk, but it was like I had to start over. And I just felt like I was being watched. So that was a little bit uncomfortable in the moment, because I was like, I don't want them to like see me filming this right here in this second. And then I'm trying to juggle holding the camera and walking my dog and, you know, picking up after him and all that stuff. So gonna try to figure that out. It's just something I'm gonna have to get over. But I think that these are things that a lot of people recommended. They're like, hey, you're never going to be 100% ready. Just get yourself out there. And here's the thing. I know that there are editors that you can pay to do your YouTube videos for you. And I think that that's a great option. But personally for me, especially since I'm going to have clients that I'm encouraging to maybe use YouTube to put themselves out there, I need to know how to do it. And I want to be able to do it well and understand it. And so I can't tell people to do something that I'm not willing to do myself. So that's my frame of mind right now with it. And I'm just going to have to figure it out as I go and just try new things. Another thing that came up was the music situation, right? So it's a lot easier to add music to videos in Instagram and TikTok. But with Instagram, especially if you are looking to monetize your page later, you have to make sure that the music that you're using is not copyrighted. And so there's all these ways that you have to go about doing that. So I went on this scavenger hunt and managed to find a few songs today. And what I finally did was I went to the YouTube studio and just downloaded a couple of songs. And then I also starred some other songs to save them that sounded nice. But, you know, if you have a certain song in mind that you want to play, you know, you're probably not going to be able to just throw it up on YouTube, because you can get a violation or something like that. And I definitely want to do things on the up and up here. So, but I did have fun creating it. I did feel like I was able to just speak about what was on my mind, what was going on, what's happening, but just wanted to kind of throw out there some things that I ran into. So this week, what I'm going to try to do is create a schedule for YouTube. Just make sure that I'm putting out content consistently. So I want to maybe try to schedule one long video and then, you know, maybe a couple of shorts or something. So I want to try to figure out what my schedule like that is going to look like. Other things, I do want to eventually have a newsletter or something to send out to people. Are people doing newsletters? I don't know. Some way to build your audience. I've just heard horror stories about people that have Instagram accounts that are built up and then somebody hacks into it and they lose everything. That's scary to think about. So this is all in the name of diversification right now. We're just trying to diversify up in here. The other thing that I really had fun on too was just throwing in clips of the videos that I created for my reels on Instagram. And, you know, because I'm doing content on that too. I'm just a content making queen. I am getting this stuff out there and I'm trying. But I definitely commend the people that are out here doing this on a regular basis, because it is not easy. And then you hope everybody sees your stuff and then you're like waiting around like crickets. Like, where are the people? Who's coming to watch? But everything in due time. I know it's going to come together, but just wanted to share that. And I hope everybody has a good day. Thanks again for visiting my channel. If you would not mind hitting that like button for me and subscribing if you do like the content that you've seen. I'm trying to grow this channel out, and just in a sincere effort, I would love for you to do those things just to help me grow.